Heyo, Omnidogs and Omnikittens. Thanks for tuning in. It's Omnidog here with a large haul. I realized, I'm looking at the books now, I realized I haven't done a haul video in like a couple years. I don't think I've done one since like 2021. So I thought it'd be fun if people like to see hauls. I'm happy to show them. Some of these, most of these, a good chunk of these books came from Organic Prized Books, where if you use the code OMNIDOG, yoink, you can get $2 off your order. Big savings when you use OMNIDOG and ship it together. Get 5% off shipping 3 or more books. That's a big deal. It's a lot of, it could be a lot of money. I'm not kidding. Okay, so what do I do first? I think the idea is going to be I'm going to have to split this into 2 parts and mix the books up to keep it exciting and fresh. So let's start. I know it's going to have to go to 2 parts. My goal is to make 2 20-minute videos. So of course that means they're going to be 3 40-minute videos. Sorry, I don't know what I'm doing really, honestly. Okay, first book that I hauled. It's going to be January to June 1st, which is 2 days from now. Okay, that doesn't make sense. May 31st, which is tomorrow. Okay, I better just start showing books. This book, Nightwing, Prince of Gotham, I realized I didn't have it. And it's very expensive on eBay, and so I thought, okay, I'll just stick to the paperbacks that I have from New 52. But then I ran across a motivated seller, you could say, and got it for cover price. Not bad for an out-of-print book. So I'm psyched to start this. 2027, I'm guessing. I ran into a couple of Star Wars books that are apparently really good. My buddy Rick Nelson is way into the Star Wars Omnis and says this book is good. Star Wars The Empire Legends, which is... Who wrote this? Where's the... What the hell? Dark Times for the Galaxy, The Republic Has Fallen, Place for the Galactic Empire. Oh, okay. Star Wars Republic 78 through 80. I am not familiar with this time period. I mean, I know what the time period is, the Empire. So I'm going to have to read these in a particular order, I think, because the next book, and I have one more Star Wars book, this is The New Republic. I already have... Where are my Star Wars books? I already have The Old Republic, and this is The New Republic. So, yeah, Star Wars books. Fun. Let's switch it up and go to big oversized hardcovers. I need to do an overview of this one. Black Hammer Visions. This is written by several people, Jeff Lemire, Patton Oswalt, Scott Snyder, and Mariko Tamaki. So this is Visions 1 through 8. Many more of comics' top talents take on some of the greatest heroes and villains in Spiral City. So this is other people's takes on the Black Hammer universe. The World of Black Hammer Visions, Volume 5. I love this. I really, really love it. Here's a book that I lost in the flood back in 2017. I forgot all about it. Then I rediscovered it. I'm not sure how I rediscovered it, but I remember I loved it. It was one of the earliest videos I did, I think. That's Humanoids, the Book of Chaos. I totally dug this book. Brash archaeologist Jack Stanton is a sole survivor of the Himalayan expedition that went horribly wrong. Against all odds, he returns with proof of an ancient civilization that walked the earth before mankind. A civilization of immense power and incredible evil. While preparing for a book tour, Jack is haunted by strange visions and then attacked by a religious zealot warning of the apocalyptic dangers of his discovery. I remember loving this book. Here is a series of Marvel books that I am going to be reading this year. Hold me to my promise, because I'm going to read them. These are the Black, White, and Blood books. Moon Knight, Deadpool, Black, White, and Blood, and my buddy Max, I believe this is the one that contains the Honey Badger story that is apparently, by Tom Taylor, and is apparently awesome. So I can't wait to read that. And then this looks boss. As you can see, I'm an Elektra fan. Elektra, Black, White, and Blood. Anthologies that are, this might make for a good overview too. They are Red, White, and Black. Maybe I should do an overview of all these. If anybody's on the fence, maybe I could help you out. And then I heard nothing but good things about this book, Hulk Grand Design. Similar to, by Jim Rugg, similar to the X-Men book that was written, oh gosh, this looks great. I should do an overview of this too. The X-Men Grand Design books, which were really great. So Jim Rugg, I think that's an interesting choice, and I think it's a good choice. So let's pick a couple of standard hardcovers. Now, I did buy at least 10 DC books. I already read them, and I filed them, which is crazy, right? I'm usually organizationally challenged, but I have enough space here where as soon as I finish a book, I file it. If you want to know what those DC books are, go to my video, my top 10 DC books so far. That was just like 2 weeks ago. Spoiler alert, I loved a lot of them. But go to those, and those are the DC books that I have read and I also purchased this year. Let's go with, this is an older book, but I just got it. Robin and Batman by Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen. Yoink. I'm collecting the Justice League by Bendis United Order. This is book volume 2. And I think maybe somewhere in there is the 3rd volume. Actually, I don't see it. I'm pretty sure I ordered it though. I think the 3rd book's already out. A book I already read, but I read it digitally and I had to own it. I've made my peace with the standard hardcover. If that's what they're doing, DC, okay, I'm gonna read it. So this Poison Ivy book is awesome by G. Willow Wilson, The Virtuous Cycle. I think I actually included it digitally on that top 10 DC books. And a book that has intrigued me and Webhead from comicreleases.com. This is Navigator from Dark Horse. When all hope is lost, an alien navigator may be our only chance for survival. Alien navigator, captured in battle on Jupiter's 4th moon, Europa, seeks sanctuary. In return, the alien will provide his advanced technology to help defend mankind from the alien force that enslaved him and has come to destroy us, etc., etc. It sounds intriguing to me, and the art's pretty good. So, whoa, the art's really good. So I will be reading this year. I can't promise all these books will be read this year, but I dig a good sci-fi book, and this looks really good. Speaking of sci-fi, the Inkle Dying Star. I do need to reread the Inkle, which I read 2016, so I can get refamiliarized with this universe. I believe Next Imaginaut, a good fan and viewer, has told me that to understand this, I just need to really understand the Inkle. I think that's what you said, Next Imaginaut. So that's cool. And then some Superman books. Oh, a lot of Superman books. Yoink! yoink and yoink. I'm reading this, I promise, soon. I'm going to do an overview of this book. Superman Space Age. Mark Russell and Michael and Laura Allred. I'm sure that this is getting a deluxe within 2 seconds of my book review and overview. So I'm okay with a standard hardcover, but you're welcome in advance. This has to be great. So I'm going to do an overview of this soon. Superman, Son of Kal-El, Volume 3. Oh, and Volume 2's a little bit lower in the stack. So I will be getting there. And then I wanted to catch up. There's a couple of New 52 Superman books that I didn't read, but they're by Gene Lin Yang with John Romita Jr. art. And I didn't read them during the New 52 run, but Gene Yang's a great writer. So this is Superman Volume 1. These are out of print, but only lightly so. I got them used from like half price books from the Big A. This is Superman Return to Glory. And I believe these are going to, he's never been so powerless or more needed. I think these lead into, I'm positive, they lead into Final Days of Superman. But I haven't read them, so I'm really excited. Okay, let's make some room here. What's my time? Oh, I'm doing pretty well. All read Madman. I love Madman. If anybody's interested, I can certainly do an overview of Volume 4. This has a lot of the atomic stuff. Volume 4 collects Michael Allred's hit comic series, Madman Atomic Comics, 1 through 17. Adventures of It Girl, and the super rare one-shot Spaceman and Mr. Gum. Those are really rare. I didn't even have those. I didn't even have those. So this is going to be really great. If anybody's interested out there, all it takes is like 1 or 2 votes to get me to do an overview. And if I get 0 votes, I may do it anyway. So that's there. I stayed, for once, I did not buy something ahead of time. I waited and waited and waited, and I got rewarded with Department of Truth by Tiny Onion. Department of Truth, The Complete Conspiracy, Volume 1, which collects 1 through 17, and it was $50 retail. That's a good deal. These independent, well, they're not independents, but like Dark Horse and Image, Boom, they're making a lot of good, well-constructed books with thick paper and really good stories. Comics. If you ever get in a bad mood, just go comics, because that's what's important, right? And I stayed true to this one too. Bitterroot. This is a big chonkster. List price $60. And it is for generations. The Sangare family has fought to protect the world from the evil plague of the Janu, hideous creatures born out of hate and racism. But now the family must face an even greater evil that has arisen to destroy humanity and threatens to rip the family apart. The only thing I'm worried about is these pages crack a lot, and I feel like I better relax the spine here a couple of times because it's kind of cracky, and I don't want anything to happen to the binding, but I'm very excited to read this. Taylor Talks Comics, my buddy who has a YouTube channel, hipped me to the existence of these 2 books. Never knew they existed. One moment, please. I have to wet my whistle. That means have a drink to all you Gen Zers out there, which is not a mid expression. He hipped me to these 2 books from Marvel, Strange Tales 1 and 2, which are... they take indie creators like Harvey Pekar Gilbert Hernandez, James Stokoe, Stan Sakai, Paul Pope, Becky Cloonan, Tony Millionaire. So they're like, and it's their takes on the Marvel Universe. And P. Bag, I mean, he's the one who had to have done this cover. So P. Bag obviously did a story too, written and illustrated, but blah, 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 blah. I don't know if he did anything besides the cover, but I mean, kudos to Marvel for even putting these out. These have to be great. I'm really pleased that I got these. They're lightly out of, I don't even know if they're lightly, I think they're in print. I got them very cheap from the Big A. So Strange Tales, this is getting read this year. Yeah, you can keep a scorecard and hold me to it. Actually, you should keep a scorecard. Write things down that I say that I'm going to read, and let's compare notes at the end of the year. How about a couple of Omnis? The Immortal Iron Fist and the Immortal Weapons. The original Immortal Iron Fist by Brubaker and Fraction is one of the books that was my gateway into Marvel. So I'm excited to reread this and read for the first time the extra stuff that's in here. I'm quite excited for that. I remember loving this when I first read it, which was 2015, 2014, 2016, somewhere in there. Here's a book. I did have the trades, and I gifted them to a friend. Shout out to Mallory. Captain Marvel by Kelly Sue DeConnick. I loved this book when it came out. I really dug it, and I'm quite happy that it got an omnibus. Kelly Sue DeConnick turned Carol Danvers into a feminist icon. I dug this book in trade, and I'm going to dig it, I bet, in Omni. Here's a book. Can't wait to read it again. I read it in trades. I'm going to gift the trades to a friend. Savage Avengers. Boss, the Savage Horde of Conan. Look at the cover. Venom, Punisher, Elektra, Wolverine, Venom, Conan, Punisher, and that's, wait, Brother Voodoo? Dr. Voodoo. Why do I think it's Brother Voodoo? Dr. Voodoo. Yeah, this was great. I loved it in trade. I'm going to love it even more in this Boss Omnibus. That's a pretty cool spine. Yeah, I dig that spine. I am happy to get this book again. I did a review on it back when it first came out. It was one of my books of the year. Teared up, made me cry at the ending. I loved this book with all my heart, and that is Slott and Allred making a fantastic Silver Surfer. I took a chance on this book because it sounded good to me. I have no idea what the reviews are because I don't go online to check anything. I kind of rely on friends to tell me in the community, the friends in the community to tell me what books are good, but nobody said anything about this book, and it just sounded interesting to me. Heroes Reborn is an omnibus. A world without Avengers. On this Earth, the Squadron Supreme of America stand in defense of the good old US of A. Hyperion, Blur, Dr. Spectrum, Power Princess, and Nighthawk face deadly enemies, including the Masters of Doom. Meanwhile, fate has chosen very different paths for Peter Parker, Gwen Stacy, Logan, Black Widow, Hawkeye, and other familiar faces. Only one man remembers the world as it's supposed to be. But what can Blade possibly do to reassemble the Avengers? That sounds good to me. And it's by Jason Aaron and Ed McGuinness. Jason Aaron? Yeah, okay. I'm into it. And because of the Spider-Man versus Venom I purchased again because of course, Maximum Carnage. And I actually dig a lot of those McFarlane books. It's not like the first... It's not the full, McFarlane run, but there's a lot of McFarlane stuff in here. There's a lot of cool firsts, like Carnage and stuff. A lot of Venom, obviously, because it's Spider-Man versus Venom. So I'm pumped to get this. So we're at the 20-minute mark. Let me just go past it before we go to Volume 2. Of course, I bet there's going to be Volume 3. I got Volume 2 of Wolverine by Benjamin Percy. I'm collecting these, and eventually I'm going to read them. Can't promise this year, but I do want to do a huge X-Men read-through, starting with Reign of X and Trials of X and Hellfire Gala and Death and Resurrection of Wolverine and Inferno and all that stuff. I got to get caught up. So I really, really want to read that. And we'll finish with these two. From Titan, The Three Ghosts of Tesla. Strange tales abound across the city that never sleeps. New York, winter 1941. Lights in the depths of the river. German U-boat sneaking inland. Torpedo. The end of the hall has all the... When Travis and his mother move into a dusty old New York hotel, little do they know that the strange old man at the end of the hall has all the answers. Or that he's history's greatest inventor of all time. The Three Ghosts of Tesla from Titan. Well, it says Static Press, but that's a Titan imprint. This sounded really cool to me. And the last book for this chapter in my never-ending series of haul is Our Encounters with Evil and Other Stories. Yes, I have the small hardcovers. Yes, I'm going to be selling them. But this is 3 stories in the Mignolaverse, and they sound awesome. So I'm really excited. So that ends the first part. I'm pretty sure I can put this into 2 videos. I didn't want to make this a 50-minute video because nobody wants to watch that. So remember Organic Price Books and my code Omnidog. Omnidog, ship it together, yada, yada, yada. And this is the end of part 1. Part 2 is going to be coming right up. I'm putting them out together. Peace and love, peace and love.